All right, I just had to make a quick video. If you are starting music in 2026, all I can really say is first of all, don't be like me and have all this shit unorganized. Because I have been going through and just organizing my music, which is sort of like at this point, it is like an entire maze. Um, Zero organization. Yeah. So I have zero organization. The first thing I would say, if you are my bad. If you are making music, please start organizing things by keys. All right. The second thing I would say is, um, you might not see it right now, and I'm too lazy to go ahead and look for it because, I threw I threw all my files somewhere. If you do make beats and stuff like that, and if you're using it for yourself, the song might suck, but the beat itself might still be good. And I would honestly say maybe like organize your beats by tiers instead of like by keys, just because it makes it a lot easier. Like if you're kind of feeling tired and lazy, it makes it so much easier to find something to record on. The other word of advice I would say is, you know, I think, you know, I mean, if you got it like that, go ahead and freestyle, or you could do punching. I tried doing punching, and it doesn't work for me. I tried doing freestyling, and while I can have some music, and my while my melodies might be like okay, the lyrics are so trash and embarrassing. I don't even want to share my music. All right, like this is the reality, man. This is like 100. I don't know how much are these. There's about 75 songs right here that I have to like sift through, right? This is like 75 songs right here that I have to sift through, and it's such a pain. Oh yeah, the reason why these are such high gigs is because Logic is kind of annoying. Like even if I delete it, the audio recordings are still there, and I have to go through the settings, and I have to sit down and figure out how to delete the recordings I already deleted, but they're still in the project file. That's the only reason why these project files gotten so big. But anyways, yeah. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a lot better to just sit down and write. To be honest, just sit down and write lyrics. Um, I at least with like writing, one, you'll get better at writing and saying cooler and better lyrics, and two, it makes um sifting through your music so much easier. You know how annoying it is to go through this and just hear some straight up bullshit, like straight up bullshit. Because the reality of making music is people are too conditioned to listening to the best of the best when it comes to making music. People are too conditioned to listening to the best. It's the same thing with all types of content. If you are ass, you better be funny, all right? Like if my bad, let me rephrase this. If you're making like videos or something, doesn't matter what you do, you better be funny or entertaining at least if you don't have the skill, because people watch videos, they consume content of either entertaining or just skill expression where people are just nice with it and then they carry like that, right? So when it comes to music, people are too conditioned to listening to the best of the best, and if your shit is ass, your shit is ass. I'm sorry. Like it's either that or you could do the quantity method, right? And have people's ears get conditioned. But I think at the end of the day, though, you have to be the one to fuck with your music, all right? I'm gonna be honest. I made a lot of music that I don't fuck with, all right? I think the majority of this shit is complete garbage. And I think the thing you really have to focus and dial in on is, listen, it doesn't matter what people think of your music. As long as you yourself wear your own music like a badge of honor. And you have to do whatever it takes for you to rock and rep your music like a badge of honor. But you also have to balance quantity and quality. Take a, I know it's controversial to say, but yo, take a lesson from Ye. Ye will put out an album and then update the album with the polished versions of the songs eventually. The thing is, when it comes to music, if you never put your music out, no one is ever going to hear about it. If you're waiting for the day you arrive, I am sorry, you're never going to arrive. Like, yes, you're going to look back and say, wow, I've improved. But like in the present moment, you have to accept and say that you are enough. You have to make the conscious decision, say, yo, I am enough as I am right now. Because the thing is, you can always be more. That's the unfortunate truth. You can always be more than you are right now. And I know we live in a consumer society that's always, brainwashing us to feel like we're lacking, that we're missing, and we need something else to complete us. But when it comes to art, the process itself is the reward. And, you're always going to get better. But you're never going to notice because you only realize you only know what you are in the present moment. All right. You might look back at your old stuff and realize you've improved, and you can only notice with the contrast. But the entire time, shit is just normal, all right? And so those are the words of advice I really have to say is, yo, sit down and write, man. Sit down and write. Try your best to say what you really want to say in the way you want to say that doesn't make you cringe, all right? You want to express emotions, but you don't want to cringe, because the unfortunate truth is, part of the reason I don't share my music is, one, I had like an archive and the secret account, and my shit was corny. The exact problems I saw with my music, people were saying, all right? The second thing I would say is, listen, some of these big artists have the luxury of talking about sad shit, depressing shit, and whatnot. Well, if you're gonna promote your music online, that's one thing. But if you are going to promote music in real life, at least for me, you can have these deeper, darker subjects, but just don't be cringe and weirdo about it. Like there's something, it's like no one wants to hear that you're sad, like especially if you're some rando, like if you're not a person. Being honest, like if I don't know who you are and you're telling me you're sad, like, ew, let me go away. And, the best way to promote music is just to share it with the people your friends and family. And, and good music is still good music at the end of the day, but, like, your friends and family. And I think it's kind of, like, cringe, though. Like who, like, I do believe, friends and family is the best way to promote your music. If your shit's good, your shit's good. If it gets stuck in people's ears, is good, and word of mouth will spread. Like, yes, you could do online, but online the attention span is so short. And talking from firsthand experience, like, like the way people promote their music is so gross to me. To me, music is just something I do. Instead of playing video games, I make music, so it's not that big of a deal. But like the way some of these people be making music, the whole personality is like gross. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I'm no judge, because there's so much more to life. It's like, damn, bro, like y'all really fiending for like a career in music. Just your passion doesn't mean it's gonna be your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make so much music, I don't give a fuck about my music, to be honest. The only thing I do give a fuck is like some cringe garbage. You know what I mean? Just because I made it and I worked hard doesn't mean it's good. It's still trash. Even I spent 2 hours, it's still trash. When you first start making beats, bro, when I first started making beats, it would take me like all day to make a beat. And that shit was trash. 2-3 hours doesn't, making something and then mixing it doesn't make it any good. It doesn't matter how much time I spent. That shit's trash. That shit's still trash. People conflate or confuse like time invested with value. Nah, bro, your shit's trash. And people have been conditioned to listen to good shit. Sometimes people be hating on like certain music, and then all I can really say is that music has something you don't got. That, or they actually promoting their music. So like, so I don't know, man. I'm just chatting right now, but all I gotta say is, listen, make a shit ton of music, tier your music, don't waste any time mixing the shitty songs. Go from your best songs to and then go down the list. All right, Don't make the mistake I did and be super disorganized, because you know how annoying it is to open. Listen, I have a vocal template, but it's so annoying because I have to wait for everything to load and I have to go through all this shit, open it up, open up the vocal template and listen to it, and then I get hit with some bullshit. I would honestly say, yo, sit down and write, man. Sit down and write. Sit down and write. Listen, some people, they blow off because they're lucky. Some people blow up because their beat selection, you know, the producer made the beat and that shit hits, all right? And sometimes people just ride the beat good, you know? Their ability is curating the right beats, all right? That's still a skill in of itself. Don't hate on the people that don't even produce on their own shit. Just lock in. Focus on your best songs. See what makes certain songs your best songs, and then figure it out, you know. But that's all I gotta say, because once you start going through and you realize just how much bullshit you have, it's like, yo, it might be better just to write. The only reason I refused to write was because, bro, I watched a couple songwriting videos and I'm like, yo, this shit is ass. Why are you taking this shit so damn serious, bro? Like, I make too much music for me to take that shit serious, you know? The way I feel is I have zero control over the song hits, you know what I mean? I could write the lyrics, I could do XYZ. It still doesn't mean the song is gonna hit, though, you know what I mean? It still could be mad to me. And I'd rather just blast through and keep blasting through, because sometimes shit just hits, like you just connect, you enter this headspace and something magical comes out. Otherwise, a lot of like bullshit, you know, you gotta grind out bullshit. I will say I'm finally gonna start promoting my music, but first I gotta see what I got working with, man. Like right now my success rate with something I feel like sharing, bro, it's feeling less than 1%, man. But I think that's the reality of making music. You're really gonna have a lot of garbage output, man. I don't even want to be an art, like promote myself as an artist. I just like learning and doing shit. Same thing with like game development and all that. So bye.